Hello and welcome to Darius Tabletop, and today we'll take a look at the Bretonian army. And yesterday I played my first Age of Sigmar 3rd edition game, and I want to tell you how it was and how the Bretonians hold their own, how do you say it, yes. And this is my whole army right now. 44 horses for different, how do you say, things. The knights, errants, grail knights, questing knights, and so on. And I want to take you through my army list and tell you how I played it yesterday. And yeah, maybe the 3rd edition Age of Sigmar is not too bad to play Bretonians. Why I play Bretonians? Maybe that's the first thing. I kind of did miss out on fantasy when I was small or a teenager. I always wanted to play Warhammer, but it was just too expensive, and I only could get myself a pair of models and paint them up, but really, really badly. So then Age of Sigmar came along, but I was missing the fantasy stuff. And then I saw one play at Miniwargaming with his cool Bretonian army, all painted up like, I don't know, cool knights. And I wanted to experience that for myself, so I got myself every horse I could get my hands on. And yesterday I played the first 1000 points for Age of Sigmar 3rd edition against a friend, and he played the Lumineth Realm Lords, and they were really strong. 1000 points was only to get an idea of how the game works and what has changed. And yeah, and it was the first time I could get my army out. And what I played was a king on Hyppogryph. This is not the original model. I kit bashed this, but yeah, we'll see. Then this is just a standard bearer, but I played 400 points here. I have the army list here. Then we have here, let me see, a noble standard bearer for 80 points. Then here, this is not a real damsel, but I played this lady as a damsel, and 100 points. Then I played a basic troop of 8 knights errants, 200 points, and then 8 knights of the realm. And this was like my 1000 point army. And yeah, first turn I got priority, or I could choose the priority. And what I did was I kind of paired the lady with the knights errants, so they could impress the lady. Then I paired up the knight of the realms with a noble standard bearer, a cool hero, 5 wounds, pretty decent armor, and a good blade. And then the king, let's take a look at the painted king. Yeah, not my best painting, but also not my worst. Not my best kit bash, but also not my worst. And yeah, so far so good. And the king, 400 points, is the centerpiece of this army. And I will tell you what everything does. I noted this down, and yeah, the king is full of stuff. Then I could choose a lot of things, and then down here it gets more basic. As you can see, this is all written in German, but the king is really the centerpiece, and he has, let's say, he has fly, he has a regal crown. When he pops his command ability, it's like an ultimate, and it's like, I don't know, for Bretonia, he pops it, he can pop his it as an instant, and within 24 inch, this is ultimate charge, I guess it's called. He pops his ultimate or his command ability, and within 24 inches, everything that charged hits one better. So if you're looking at old war scrolls, and this is why I make this channel, because like sometimes you want to play fantasy stuff, and if you're not so much into high fantasy stuff, but you like Age of Sigmar, or everybody's playing Age of Sigmar, you still can. And when I was starting to play, like everybody ridiculed me and they said, do you have old war scrolls? These Bretonians are bad, and there's nothing you can do, you will lose the game against a new army book or codex. And they could have been right, because the Lumineth elves were really hard. Like they can activate in the melee phase 2 units and fight first. Like holy shit! Like I charged in the first turn, I managed to charge everything. Like I moved up 10 inches, I moved up 10 inches. This dude moved 12 inches. This dude secured a mission. She buffed the guys with a... Normally she gives a 6+ feel no pain or invulnerable save, but because she's cool, she gives... And if everything... And if the keyword nobility is attached to something, then it's a 5+ invulnerable. And these guys are all nobility, even she is. So they got a 5+ invulnerable bubble, and then I popped his ultimate, charged in, made all my charges. Turn 1, I was in the enemy phase and ripping faces with this guy, this dude too, because like on the charge, like if you look at the basic war scrolls of all these knights, they look pretty basic or even pretty bad. But if you charge in, and your banner makes it so that you can roll 3 dice and choose the highest and then charge with that. So you could potentially make a 12-inch charge, or you can just reroll. It could be also that you fail it, but it's highly unlikely. And I charged in with them. I didn't want to charge like the Lumineth because they had really good defensive stats, but I thought I cannot win. I have to make manly moves and I have to go all in first turn. And so everything landed in the enemy's face. I guess he was a little bit surprised, but this is where the fun comes in. And where the fun comes in is like they have pretty bad damage on the wall scroll. But if you charge in with the lances deal 2 damage. So imagine this first row getting the attacks in, and then with the new edition you have to check the unit coherency. So maybe you have to put the horses like this way and then charge in so that these guys have also a 2-inch reach. But they will hit better with the ultimate from the king, which you will always do. They reroll once because they're eager to impress the lady, as long as the lady is within 18 inches. And yeah, that is what you gotta do. And then like a lot of buffs, you can buff them up a lot, and if they have charged, they wound better. He gives a better to hit, so they start hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, and make a 2 damage. And yeah, it's not all that amazing, but some of the hits came through, and the opponent couldn't like tank everything, and so the 2 wounds really chipped away at his units and his heroes. Then the king is a real monster. He can unbind and spell if he charged, and he will always charge in each turn or fight. He can reroll once. He has a good weapons profile, and so on. And so everything in this army looks pretty bad on paper, but when you start seeing the synergies, like, I don't have to get too much in, but everything in this army synergizes. The king really is a boss because his regal crown makes it so that within 24 inches, and 24 inches is a huge bubble, you don't have to take battle shock tests, so that's great. The lion shield makes him reroll once if he charged, and makes him unbind a spell. He can reroll failed hit rolls with his sword against monsters and heroes, so that makes him a beast. And he's the champion of the people. He heals every round D3 wounds, and with the new abilities from how do you call it? From Age of Sigmar 3rd edition, each hero action once per turn, you can even make him heal even more. And with in German it's called Sternstunde, where he gets +1 on to wound. Yeah, he gets a real boss. So maybe the best time ever to play Bretonia or armies that are no longer supported for Age of Sigmar 3. Like I said, these dudes all synergize, and yeah, maybe I show you a couple of the paintings. I had tons of fun because I like to be the underdog sometimes. Yeah, this lady looks a bit strange, but yeah, maybe she and her twin witch elf sister got raised by these Bretonians. Maybe this is not the real king, but they read books or heard some legends, and then, I don't know. Or who knows, maybe he is the king and he healed himself up over a long time and he's starting to rebuild Bretonia. Would be cool if you see like the return of Camry. If you have old armies and people play Age of Sigmar, maybe you can find a way to make it work and to kick their asses. Would be fun. I know you cannot play, I guess, a tournament with these units, but at your local game store, I assume you could have tons of fun if you want to play them. It's really cool because, like, I wanted to have an army with cool models, and I will enjoy painting up every one of these guys. And yeah, what else to say? Maybe I show you a couple more. Like, some are kit bashed and don't look too good, but yeah, this one hasn't gotten a real shield. He got whatever he could find, but I like this. This is like a ramshackled Bretonian army, but some of the dudes look really cool. Like, this guy is a questing knight. He has a Lustrian melee weapon, and yeah, and some things look really great. I guess this one will be then my for the questing knights, or maybe the war banner. And I will have tons of fun painting up these guys. like I show you some that really look great models. Yeah, just have fun with your hobby. Don't think too much. It's tons of fun playing what you want to play and not just get creative. Mix up a bit the how do I say, like the meta game. Everybody tries to play what he thinks is the best, and of course you should also strive to win. But if you want to play some old armies that you enjoy playing, just do that. Further updates are coming. And yeah, that's all for today.